If you are not using passions, then you are seriously missing out. In this video, we are going to look at what passions are in Mythras Rulesets, how to create or gain passions, how they impact on gameplay, and what happens if situations change. Let's get straight on with it. I am actually using a new mic setup, so I'm hoping that this is all in sync and is working fine. Don't let me know in the comments. Okay, so the first thing that I have to say that passions are optional, but if you do implement them, it helps the player to understand their character more and allows the games master to create plot hooks based on the character's desires or even prejudices. A passion can be related to anything. It can be a person, an organization, an ideal, or even an object. And they are usually preceded by some sort of verb. For example, you might have love theists, or detest magic, or fear the Thieves Guild, or desire money. To get started, there is a table all about passions on page 23 of the core rulebook. This shows you how to calculate starting values and even gives you some ideas. Okay then, so first up, creating or gaining passions. So you can actually gain a passion during character creation. It allows the player to start to think how the character interacts with allies, contacts, rivals, enemies, anything like that. And it represents the character's views when they're merely starting out. Remember, the object of the passion could be anything from a person to an ideal or a place to an organization. The list is truly endless. For example, the character might dislike or mistrust magic, or be loyal to their king or mentor. But if you've already created your character, then don't worry, you still can have passions, because passions can actually be created as the campaign progresses. For example, you might gain a passion after the character interacts with the local Thieves Guild or Merchant Guild, or even the person that they're working for. And remember, the characters in the group could all have different passions or the same passion but at different levels. So for example, some people might actually adore and are very loyal to the patron that's giving them work, while the other half or somebody else in the party might distrust and hate them. So if you're creating out or in the campaign, then you can still have passions. But what's more important is that these passions can change, and we'll talk about that in the last section in this video. Okay, this second section is all about using passions. So the first use of passions is to augment a role. So what happens here is that you add 1/5 of your percentage for that passion to another dice roll. So you can easily find this by finding 10% and then doubling it. So for example, if I really distrust or hate somebody and I come face to face with them, then I can augment my attack roll with 1/5 of my passion towards that person. So in this way, if you are really riled up about something, you will be stronger in your attack. Or if you're trying to protect the person that you love, then your parries will be stronger. Next up, passions encourage you to act in a certain way. So say, for example, you have a distrust of magic, then what you will do is roll your passion, and if it is successful, then you will operate in line with that passion. So for example, if I have that distrust of magic and I'm successful in my role, my passion roll, then I am refusing that invisibility spell. So next up are opposing views. So let's imagine a situation. What approach will be taken? The theist does not like killing or causing suffering, and the animist wishes to conjure up a disease spirit to release it on the bandit camp. Obviously, these two people oppose each other, so in order to decide about a way forward, both will roll their passions in an opposed roll. Whoever wins will dictate how they're going to attack the party. Now you might be saying, but wait, surely it depends about the player, how they can justify their cause. That is true, but remember the dice roll is showing how passionate that character is. So this method does not rely purely on the ability of the player. Next up, measuring their commitment to a cause. The higher the passion, the more committed they are to the cause. This will bring up interesting discussions between different characters, but may also help certain characters progress up the ranks. Remember, somebody who is high in the order has to demonstrate commitment to the cause. And finally, to resist some form of manipulation. So in certain situations, the passion might be used instead of a willpower roll. Instead of rolling willpower, the passion will be rolled to dictate what actually happens. So, for example, one of the characters might be completely loyal to the patron. They make a successful passion roll and actually sign up the whole party to the next task without even considering everybody else's opinion. They believed in their hero, their leader, the mentor, the patron completely. Improving, deepening, or waning passions. Because passions operate just like skills, characters can use experience rolls to increase or decrease their passions. However, there might be something else that goes on that causes the GM to suggest or impose an alteration. For example, a character may really trust their leader, but suddenly a leader's advice leads them into a trap. In those cases, the passion for that leader will alter. There's a table on page 82 of the core rulebook, and changes can be anything from a 1d10 to 1d10 plus 10. And with passions changing throughout the campaign, that also means that the character will change as well. They may start off actually mistrusting magic hugely, but they may eventually trust it because they have seen it being used as a healing power several times, and maybe they will even save themselves. Using passions effectively adds another dimension to both the characters and the campaign. I recommend, if you're new to passions, then start small with just one for each character and see how it goes. Oh, and if you are a character, then be prepared to suggest when your passion may be used to augment a role. Your GM will be really pleased about this. And GMs, don't forget that monsters and opponents can also have passions. So don't forget to have their passions augment their attack rolls or skill rolls as well. Thank you for watching the video, and don't forget to check out the description for all the links how you can support me and the work that I do. Until next time, I hope all your passions support or hinder your character's actions. And if you want to see a video about how you can start to become an effective GM, then watch this video next.